Lasermate. Eject. Operation. Channel intro.
Hello fellow YouTubers, like WWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And today I found Transformers Studio Series 86 Junkheap. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I was just at the store and there he was. So, decided I'd go in and get him. So, first off for the packaging, very interesting what happened with this figure. They were all set to call him Junkyard, and then suddenly there was some sort of licensing issue with the name. And they had to call him Junkheap. I don't really mind. I think Junkheap is a way better name anyway. For me, Junkyard sounds like it'd be the name of a combiner or something. Which, I'd love to see that. A Junkyard combiner? Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. But just for a singular character, I think Junkheap is just a better name. So that's just a little worthless ramble. I'm sorry to have wasted your time with that. So, he's got the stupid open window. There he is on the side, the artwork. There he is on the back, transforms in 22 steps. Should be the same as Wreck-Gar. I actually haven't really watched any reviews for this guy, actually. Here it says, Junkheap leads the efforts to piece together the remains of Ultra Magnus. His backdrop, same as Wreck-Gar, so I probably won't be keeping the backdrop. So without further ado, let's get him out. Alright, there he is. So, let's get into it. Alright, so here we have Junkheap in his vehicle mode, and I think it's pretty nice. It's not too different from Wreck-Gar. We're going to get into the differences in a minute. I do think it's pretty nice. The coloration, I do like all the contrast, the crazy colors up here and then back here. Got the gas tank right there. You have the handles, which seem to be a lot tighter than the ones on Wreck-Gar. Or at least they were before I filmed this video. And like Wreck-Gar, he has the kickstands, but he's not really gonna roll that well. Let's try to, here we go. And you do have the same type of storage, just this peg right here. There's just this hole in the back and you just plug it in. So, that's pretty cool. So, comparison with Wreck-Gar, here's the two side by side. And you can see the similarities, but I do appreciate some things they did with this guy to differentiate him some. Like this front section right here. See, it's a little bit wider here. This one's a lot more thin. Obviously, this guy doesn't have the guns on the front. And then he does have these panels, which are probably the biggest difference on this figure. Because obviously Wreck-Gar didn't have them. And also this guy has tabs on his feet for these panels to plug into, whereas this figure doesn't. I do definitely think Wreck-Gar has a cooler gas tank. I mean, look at it. It's got flames on it. Whereas this one, it's a little dull. Not too bad. I still think it looks pretty cool, but you can see the heads forming the controls there. So, overall, it's a nice motorcycle mode. And if you want, you have the option to put Wreck-Gar on him, which I think looks pretty cool. I know some people were buying two Wreck-Gars just for the sake of having one to be in motorcycle mode and one in robot mode, so he could ride himself basically, but I never did that, and I'm glad I didn't because now we got Junkyard, so I actually have another character for him to ride. Seriously, I'm wondering if they're going to give us all the Junkions that we saw or not. That would be interesting. Well, with how good this guy and Wreck-Gar have been, I'd be down for it. So I think that pretty much covers the motorcycle mode. So I'm not going to go too in detail on the transformation. I'm just going to cover the main differences. So if you do want to see the full transformation, watch my Wreck-Gar review. Okay, so main areas where it deviates, just kind of angle this, and you can just get this out of the way. Fold this forward and down like this, and then just do the same thing on this side, and detach a few things. And just one thing I do want to point out is this guy's head, folding it in and out, is much more of a pain than Wreck-Gar's in terms of getting the kind of ear pieces in. But then once you get it out, you just fold them out to the side like that. Then once you get to this part, I generally just store the wheels on the legs here. So if you remember, the one thing I didn't like about the Wreck-Gar was the transformation. In terms of this is an improvement, not really, because then you have the extra kind of added annoyance of folding the head up in. Like, that really wasn't a problem with Wreck-Gar. Other than that though, transformation's fine. And when you're done, there you have Junkheap in his robot mode. And I mean, I do think he looks pretty nice. It's not like he was the biggest character in the 86 movie, but I did look up the animation model, and this looks pretty close, other than the fact he didn't have wheels on his legs, but yeah, I'm okay with that. So I won't really go into the articulation or anything on this guy, since I did already cover that with Wreck-Gar, but it is all still there, and it's still really good. Remember, I love the articulation on Wreck-Gar. Get a look at that head sculpt. And I think it looks pretty nice. It kind of looks like he has shades on. He's got these kind of horn things. It's a very boxy head. Of course, it does have the dials on the back. And he's got these kind of, I don't really know what you call them, pipe type things on him, I guess. He's got these spikes on his shoulders. And then I guess this is kind of a gun right here on the side. So for comparison, here he is with Wreck-Gar. And I'm just going to go in and point out the differences. The weapons are exactly the same. Those are direct carryovers from Wreck-Gar. And the legs are also the same in terms of functionality and sculpt, aside from having this one having tabs on his feet. The legs are pretty much the same. Waist down is the same. This ab section right here is the same, except there's some paint right here. Look on the back. Handlebars are the same, but the gas tanks are different. Then you get to this chest section here, and that's very different. The shoulders are definitely different. Looks like the biceps are pretty much the same, but forearms, new sculpt, and of course he's got the panels on them. So they're similar enough, but I still appreciate the changes they did make to this figure to make him look different. But like, these two would still like be the same species, like in the same group and everything. So that's appreciated. So, I honestly think that pretty much covers this guy. I hate to kind of breeze through this, but I've already talked about a version of the mold, so I'm just here to talk about the new details on him. He's a nice figure, though. So I'll go ahead and stick him on the display. Alright, so there's Junkheap with my 86 collection. And I think he looks nice. Even if the shelf is getting a little bit crowded, I might have to reorganize it a little bit. But overall, it's a great figure. I mean, if you love Wreck-Gar, you're gonna love Junkheap. Like I said, he does enough things differently, but he's still similar. Like I said, transformation is pretty much identical aside from the panels on the arms. But in terms of if I recommend this guy, yeah, I do. I think you should get him. Like I said, he looks really nice with Wreck-Gar, and I'm curious to see what other Junkions they might give us if they do, and what they would be like. But that's just what I think of the figure. As always, please be sure to comment down below what you think of the figure. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.